freedom, informed by our Constitution, our laws, and traditions, we need to pick the best leaders possible. Recent experience certainly illustrates that. Free and accurate elections are essential if we're going to restore our society and safeguard our rights. New York Citizens Audit is a volunteer, nonpartisan group which has been lobbying for open source audits of the State Board of Elections and reform of the electoral process statewide. Did you know Citizens Audit has uncovered over 1 million felony violations of election law, that in 2020 there were 625,000 more voter registrations than existing voting age citizens in just 6 New York counties, that there were 338,000 more votes cast than voters who voted? These are just a few shocking examples of the urgent need for reform. You can help. Visit auditny.com and learn the facts, how to volunteer, and make a difference in your community. Again, volunteer, donate, or spread the word. Start at auditny.com. That's auditny.com.
Youth for Christ Rochester needs to grow. Our kids are telling us they don't feel safe in their neighborhoods or rec centers, and they're asking us to be open more. And thanks to your support, we will. We're adding a weeknight and Saturday mornings to our basketball program. We're adding a second Arts Academy Friday night, and we're adding a second P31 girls class on Saturdays. But we need your help. $25 per month funds a kid for a year. Give your best gift to yfcrochester.org/donate.
The Stars and Stripes flag store is open again. Shop at 783 South Avenue Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 to 5. All American-made flags, many different types, apparel, drinkware, ornaments, and more. Honor our heroes. Shop Stars and Stripes flag store open again.
Advertising on the WYSL stations is both affordable and effective, but it's so much more than that. When your business or professional practice has a presence on the Voice of Liberty, you connect with a patriotic, awake, and aware audience that cares about society, our families, our schools, our values, and our future. And our listeners appreciate you and respond. We can
last spot
together for truth and freedom. The WYSL stations, the Voice of Liberty. Call 346-3000
Stand by
today.
Politically correcting.
You're on.
Awesome. We are back talking our talk because you guys need to hear this. I'm sorry for everyone that was on the Facebook and YouTube page there. We had some audio issues, but we are back here. Everyone that's on the radio show, make sure you share this with your friends, because myself, Lavelle Lewis, we are the voice of common sense. We are the voice of reason. And we need more people to listen to us because we are just that dope. Before we went to the break, we discussed how kind of the federal government works with the media to basically tell them what to report on or what not to report on. And recently, see what happened to the FTX CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah.
For those of you out there who do not know, the FTX CEO, he was the one who was basically embezzling money, taking money from people. It was over, I think it was like $8 billion, billion with a B.
Tax dollars, though.
Yep. And used your money to fund political campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Over $100 million worth of political campaigns. And so when FTX went down, they started investigating him, which is weird. Of course, they don't start investigating political campaign donations until, your overall financial company goes down. And found out, obviously, he was not on the up and up. His entire business was not on the up and up. He got charged with 2 different charges. One was for the, not extortion, but the embezzlement of money, taking people's money and lying to them about what he's going to do with that money. And then the second charge was the campaign finance charges. You can't use that kind of money to funnel into campaigns. It's not legal. Now, what happened was the federal government, who is trying him, said we're going to have 2 different court cases. The first one's going to be that. The second one's going to be that we just discussed. Well, he got found guilty of the first one, taking people's money under false pretenses and using it for his own benefit, essentially. And then the federal government said, yeah, we're not going to go along. We're not going to charge him with the second crime of campaign finance laws. How in your face disgusting is that right there, to where the federal government can step in and say, we're not going to try this man who is clearly using his money for power and influence in the government, helped helped Joe Biden get elected, and we're not going to try him for anything. He's free and in the clear. How in your face is that to you?
Well, it's not. It's definitely pretty obvious that we are operating on two different playing fields, right? Even up to like with this Jeffrey Epstein situation that's going on, we have been exposed as citizens to so much corruption within the last God knows how many years. I mean, even going all the way back to 9/11. We as citizens have to consciously conversate amongst each other within our communities and draw a line with the politicians that represent us and start demanding answers. If you got a guy who's over $9 billion of fraud money running wouldn't we hear about Bernie Madoff? This is another Bernie Madoff, but worse. Way worse.
For power.
You're using, American tax dollars for it. But in order for him to kind of get away with it, the politicians, the federal government is the one that's doing it. But God forbid if you decide to go to a rally on January 6th and just be present, you're going to jail without any real representation, no judge, no jury. You're just sitting there waiting for charges. This is, are we in the United States of America?
Well, that's the thing. This is 2024. We're not, it's not that we're just going to keep talking about this because I'm done talking.
Yeah.
It's time for action. And a lot of people hear that like, oh, here comes the conspiracy. And if you guys are going to go after the government, blah, blah. No. We are going to purposely go out to the community, purposely have conversations, purposely look for people who are willing and able to run for these types of political office. Because I think at this point, it's like 85% of everyone across the board, no matter what your political, affiliation is, everyone says that the government doesn't represent them. It's not even close. The vast majority of people say our government does not represent our best interests. So what are we doing? Why do we keep voting for the same people? Or are we are we even voting for the same people? Or is there something in place to where there may potentially be voter fraud, which they have been able to show in multiple instances of where the machines were rigged?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. Money is power, man. And just because you see it on TV, if you see it on TV, if you see a politician that looks very shiny, polished, and new, chances are he's got a lot of money behind him, and he's saying all the right things to get elected. Until you have the politicians that are standing up, against politicians like that, the shiny, well-established, beautiful commercials, connected with this social program, that social program, and all these different social programs that are within your community.
And changing your name to sound more white, like Nikki Haley.
Oh my gosh, please. That should give you some sort of pause. There's a lot of money in politics, and it's not even, money from the everyday person. You have foreign money that's coming into elections now. We talked about this before, the situation with the former Fugees rapper, Pras Michel. He's now standing, his trial is over.
Yep.
He's been convicted of campaign fraud, receiving millions of dollars from a Chinese informant. Leonardo DiCaprio is also a part of this case. Kim Kardashian, all of the top celebrities receiving money from Chinese informants, spies. Okay, this is happening on our time as American citizens.
But they are reporting on it. It is in the news. It's just not it's not front and center in your face.
No, but they will report on Donald Trump getting pulled off of ballots. Anytime Trump's name can be used as a distraction, they put it out there. Going back to Jeffrey Epstein again, these people, these individuals, they are using other news stories that they can create, that they can try and manipulate and distract you from these types of situations.
Not just distract you, but anger you. Oh. Something that actually came up. I don't know if you're following what's going on in Georgia. The judge rules True the Vote's 2020 mass voter challenges don't amount to illegal intimidation. I don't know how many actually knew this, but Fair Right Action sued True the Vote in December 2020 ahead of the runoffs. The voting rights group objected to the True the Vote's announcement that it planned to challenge the eligibility of more than 360,000 Georgia voters. Now, again, they're challenging the eligibility of more than 360,000 Georgia voters. This, to me, I'll wait to give my insight until the end here. What the group that's suing True the Vote, what they said was, this is gonna really set you off, I'm sure.
Oh, great.
They said, we believe True the Vote used Donald Trump's big lie as the basis to launch eligibility challenges against more than 364,000 Georgians ahead of the runoff, many of whom were Black, brown, and first-time voters, said Keontae Stewart Reed, who was the group's executive director.
Say that name again.
Keontae.
All right, what?
Keontae.
I'm gonna put $1 million that Keontae is definitely a white girl.
No way. Over the last 2 years, she said, we have seen a growing number of groups follow suit across the country, drawing from True the Vote's anti-voter playbook to launch their own mass voter challenge efforts that continue to this day. True the Vote obviously celebrated the ruling. My issue is this. If you think that they are just absurd, how could you ever think that there's over 360,000 voters who are ineligible to vote? Let it go through the process then. This is the issue right now. They keep stopping it from going through the process, which pushes the idea even further that they're hiding the fact that there may have been illegal voters voting. When we come back, we're going to continue that conversation because I believe this is going to be the biggest topic for 2024 coming to the elections coming up. 346-3000. Give us a call if you have any insight into this topic as well. We'll be right back.
For truth and freedom. AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center. For tonight, we'll have a couple of snow showers out there, maybe a little coating in spots, temps in the low 30s. For Thursday, a few snow showers in the morning, clearing up in the afternoon, a coating to an inch possible, much colder, temps dropping into the 20s. On Friday, we'll catch a little sunshine, some fair weather clouds in the 30s. On Saturday, turning cloudy, could be a little light snow Saturday night into Sunday. I'm Rich Cornelia, WYSL.
WYSL.
Rock on Harley Davidson and Rock on Power Sports, West Henrietta Road. Shop the greatest selection of legendary Harleys and save big on a wide array of used bikes. And Rock on Power Sports has rides from Honda, Kawasaki, and Yamaha. And a great supply of parts. Cycles while supplies last. Has side-by-sides, ATVs, and jet boats too. Anything that's fun and goes fast. On and off-road and on the water, shop the all-new Rock On first. Rock On Harley Davidson and Rock On Motorsports, 2600 West Henrietta Road. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Call 424.
Board member Tom Hammond.
What makes Mary Cariola different, from the minute you walk into any of its locations, you can see its mission and its purpose. The work of Mary Cariola makes a difference to over 450 families in the Rochester and Western New York community. Mary Cariola serves a community of students and adults and families that need their support. Mary Cariola is approaching its 75th anniversary. It started with Mary Cariola, one woman's vision to make a difference for her family. And she just kept focused on her mission and her purpose. When something needed to get done, Mary Cariola got it done. And I can say with confidence that's the same organizational culture today as it was when she started this organization. The entire staff is constantly looking for ways to help families, and that we continue to help as many families as we can for another 75 years, and to do even more great things today than it did yesterday.
Visit marycariola.org.
Ready to Respond Training Services offers CPR, AED, and first aid training across Western New York and beyond. High-quality training from top educators and instructors who have worked in the EMS field. For more information, call 585-281-4208 or visit readytorespond.net. Inform, engage, equip. Ready to Respond Training Services. 585-281-4208.
At AirQuip, it's all about your comfort. Comfort with our company, comfort with our team, and most importantly, comfort in your home. As a trained comfort specialist, we adhere to the highest standards of customer service, training, and industry expertise. With a trained system from AirQuip, you'll get the best products, honest prices, and service that's unparalleled. We are your home comfort specialists. Find out more at airquipheating.com.
AirQuip Heating and Air.
Introducing the Advantage Signature Rewards Visa Card. Now you can take advantage with no balance transfer fees, no cash advance fees, plus you earn cash back for every dollar you spend. Get 2 bonus points for every dollar along with travel benefits, emergency cash, great purchase rewards, and real-time fraud alerts. Take advantage today and turn your points into cash with your new Advantage Signature Rewards Visa. Go to AdvantageSCU.org for details. Membership subject to eligibility, federally insured by NCUA.
Smart banking.
A lady from Hilton wrote a complaint letter about our Tom Wall's haddock fish sandwich. She started by saying it was delicious and then berated us by saying it was so big it hung way over both sides of the roll. Not gonna lie, this did make us smile. Further, she suggested we use a square piece of fish. Relax, we're not going to change our fish. Besides, how do square fish even swim? Let me make you the best fish sandwich of your life. Tom Wall's. Good, good.
Tom Walls.
The National Warplane Museum in Geneseo, New York. Preserving history is our goal. Entertaining guests is our forte. Open winter hours Wednesdays and Saturdays till 2 p.m. See nationalwarplanemuseum.com for more information.
This is WYSL Sports. Battisti. Roberts Wesleyan Basketball is back on WYSL, and I'll be calling all the action for the men's and women's Red Hawks this season. WYSL for all the exciting action of Roberts Wesleyan Basketball all season.
Politically correcting.
You're on.
Oh, man. Did you see what Green Day did on New Year's Eve with their
jeez, what they're appointed to do?
They just I can't comprehend a grunge rock band who falls in line with media narrative when you're supposed to be anti-establishment. That's your whole thing.
Yeah,
that's your whole thing. And news article says Trump supporters have a meltdown after Green Day slam MAGA agenda during New Year's show. So the band changed the lyrics to its 2004 song American Idiot while performing on ABC Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest. Why don't they change the name to Ryan Seacrest New Year's Rockin' Eve? I mean, Dick Clark's been gone for a while.
Because he did it, up until he died on New Year's Day.
Yeah, I get it.
You gotta pay
replace his name. Now we're good. We're good. Thank you, Dick Clark. It's time for Ryan Seacrest to take over. But no one's having a meltdown. Everyone's just saying, what's wrong
why
with
do
you?
They say that all the time.
Well, they want to make, this is the thing, they make Republicans look like little wussies who cry over everything. And I'm going to be honest, there's a couple of times when you guys got, go a little bit crazy. with certain things. And I'm like, it's not really that big of a deal. Just let them have it, let them freaking be idiots. Like this one, it's like, all right, they're idiots. They look like, middle-aged lesbian women. Let them have it. Let them have their little time to freaking talk about that. They're a Canadian rock band who said that if Trump got elected, they would leave the United States. And guess what? They didn't go. They didn't leave.
Yeah,
they stayed right here in the same country that made them millionaires.
Yeah, exactly. That's just interesting to me as to how celebrities who you were, if you weren't in a country like the United States of America, to get paid for just singing songs about Dookie, right? Like you were put in a place in time where you got to do the bare minimum to have everything at your fingertips. You can go around the world twice over than any person who's living in poverty in this country.
Poverty. You got to use air quotes on that because American poverty is not the same as actual poverty.
Yeah, we were just talking about it in the car.
It's like I have a 2-year-old iPhone. Yeah, I'm living in poverty.
But again, it goes back to what we were saying about propaganda, media. Who is that message designed for? Is it designed to piss off Trump supporters? Like, why would a Trump supporter really care about what Green Day says? What did anybody on Green Day say? Why?
That's the thing. And stop caring.
Yeah, who cares?
Stop caring what people say about you.
Nobody cares. No one cares.
But a lot of people do.
But that's why I say before, that's why I am okay with being on the Republican side, because there's less people on the Republican side that wants to chop their meat off and be a feminist activist, right? Letting the women lead on the right side, right? And not saying that women can't lead, but women can't lead as effectively as strong men. And within the Democratic side, can you name me one strong male that is leading that party right now?
Joe Biden.
I'm going to pretend you didn't say that.
Another issue that we're having is that at least 24 Democrats and more than a dozen Republicans are planning to leave Congress this year. Many lawmakers have cited burnout from the recent chaos and longstanding dysfunction in Congress as key factors. Now, what do you think is really going on? Because for all these politicians to leave, with Republicans having like a 2-seat majority, and still Republicans are leaving, they're saying, I'm going to go become some middle school teacher.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, there must be something else coming. In my mind, it seems like they know what's going to happen, and they're like, let me get out because I don't really want to deal with this.
Yeah, there's definitely something happened. There's going to be, I'm not saying there's going to be, there could be some takeover by people who are getting checks from some NGO potentially. I can say this, but the difference between the two parties, the Democratic Party are more in sync with whatever overall message and agenda that they want to do. They're doing whatever they want to do, and they do not care what anybody says or thinks about their policy.
You say that, but it says at least 24 Democrats and more than 12 Republicans are planning to leave. So there's double the Democrats that are leaving.
Well, maybe those Democrats are the ones that seem like, this isn't right. I don't sign up for this. Maybe I don't want my kid to chop his meat off. Maybe I don't think that, all Republicans are MAGA domestic terrorist extremists,
Yeah, my biggest issue with local politics is that there's not many who are in local politics who have any kind of real world experience.
Yeah.
On any level. On any level. They're just, the common sense is gone. The financial sense is gone. People who've owned businesses, they don't want no part of it because they're like, why? I'm not going nowhere with this. When they say dysfunction, that's the exact reason why I got out of city council. Cause like, where am I going with this? I'm one person. Everyone's like, oh, you're the only one with common sense in there. You're the only one that speaks up for us. I'm like, yeah, guess what? 1 versus 8 isn't fun.
No,
that's not freaking, it weighs on you and you're not going anywhere with it. So why continue with it? We got Mike on the line. Mike, how you doing, brother?
Hey, gentlemen. Hey, I need to make a correction. Green Day isn't grunge. Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, Queensryche. That is grunge. Okay? Green
Good
Day
correction. Good correction. I agree with you.
Wannabe. Second point, I didn't get a chance to get in earlier on the conversation, is the guy with the gas can. Kind of a little funny that he traveled. These people, I don't know if you guys are seeing the pattern. I'm pretty sure somebody is there. The pattern. Guy comes from a different part of the state. Oh, wait a minute. Sounds like Buffalo last year. Comes from a different part of the state. Drives to one of those state places. Goes to the airport to get a vehicle, even though he drove a vehicle. And then loaded up full of gasoline. What was the intent?
Yeah. And also had enough time to check his receipt and see what items he purchased at said store.
Checked his receipt at the door just to make sure he was getting the right thing.
Didn't cover his face with a mask.
No. He wanted to check his points. He needed to see how many points he had on his Walmart card.
Right. Well, wait a minute. Wasn't there somewhere a couple of years back when they sent somebody into Walmart? Somebody with a lower IQ to buy supplies.
Yep, and then he said he couldn't do it, and so the people that set him up went in there and bought it for him.
Right,
and then charged him with a
domestic terrorist.
Yeah, that is weird how they're coming to Rochester.
Yeah.
That is very weird.
Well, great point. Well, one other thing, Mike, I wanted to point out. Have you ever? I mean, how many politicians have you heard? Mentioned domestic terrorism. Barack Obama has mentioned that is one of the biggest challenges for United States of America. Hillary Clinton has also said that very same thing. Domestic terrorism is a problem for United States of America. Is this, in your opinion, is this setting up some sort of fight between the free citizens versus the government?
Oh, it certainly is. And they're setting up a lot of white guys. Yeah. I can tell you why they're doing this is because we had 5 million people flood across our border in the last year. Okay? I didn't see a lot of white South Africans flooding across our border. Okay? I've seen every other country in the world flood across. Yeah. Okay? So now you're flooding all these people. So now if you say anything, it doesn't matter. You being a Republican, you say, hey, wait a minute. Where are all these people going and who's paying for all these people?
You're a racist and a bigot.
You're a racist and a bigot.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now if
Another call on hold.
Getting fingers shoved in my face telling me I'm a racist. Wait a minute. I live here. Who's paying for these people? What are these people coming to do here?
You're absolutely right, Mike. You're absolutely right. And you have every right to question that as well. And you don't need to be caring if someone calls you a racist or bigot, just for asking why are all these people coming across our border? Why are we allowing it? And why are they all, very young men who are of age to kind of get into war?
Yeah,
I quit at that.
Truth.
We do got another caller we want to get into before we get to our break. What's the next caller's name? I don't even know.
Dave.
Dave, how you doing, Dave? You there, Dave?
Yeah.
How are you? What you got?
Yeah, okay. You guys are talking about all these upcoming resignations, and the first thing, Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Pops into my head. Aren't we waiting for a list of 150 to 200 names?
Yeah, keep waiting.
They delayed it, right? They delayed that list.
Yep.
Just recently.
And do you think it's going to be unredacted?
Oh, come on. Everything that's redacted looks like a black piece of cardboard.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like the banter you guys got going. Good energy this year so far. But as my old boss used to say, truth is stranger than frictions.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dave. I appreciate you very much for calling in and give us that insight, because that's actually going to be something we jump into right after this break. We're going to jump into that Epstein list and a connection between Jimmy Kimmel and Aaron Rodgers, your boy.
Yeah, Mark.
Right back. 346-3000. Give us a call if you want some. Give us your take on some of the nonsense going on in America today. WYSL radio station.
Hey, can you hear the sound of the stereo? The subliminal mind, America.
Please. By our Constitution, our laws, and traditions, we need to pick the best leaders possible. Recent experience certainly illustrates that. Free and accurate elections are essential if we're going to restore our society and safeguard our rights. New York Citizens Audit is a volunteer, nonpartisan group which has been lobbying for open source audits of the State Board of Elections and reform of the electoral process statewide. Did you know Citizens Audit has uncovered over 1 million felony violations of election law? That in 2020, there were 625,000 more voter registrations than existing voting age citizens in just 6 New York counties, that there were 338,000 more votes cast than voters who voted. These are shocking examples of the urgent
His mic's not turned on.
and help. Visit auditny.com.
Unless he wants to scoot over by you, I'd rather not keep a third mic on all the time. It just will pick up a lot of extra room noise.
Start at
You're going to like the bump for the next segment.
.com.
Batavia Downs Gaming exists for you to have fun coming to visit our counties, education, local charities, and each and every one of our 400. We want to say thank you. 2022 was our biggest year ever in credits played, money provided to our member counties, money for education and charities in our area. And we want you to continue to love coming here. Batavia Downs Gaming, we thank you for a great 2022, and our best times are ahead of us.
Batavia Downs, more, lots more.
If you're looking to market and grow your business, make new business connections, and give back to the community in a meaningful way, consider joining the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. We're the largest suburban chamber in Monroe County, and we offer networking, education, marketing, insurance, and advocacy. You do not need to live or work in Greece to join. Our members come from throughout the region. In short, we're better together.
You're talking about Bob?
Business.
He started in radio on his 17th birthday.
77272.
Over 55 years.
Correcting.
Yes. Epstein docs. We're going to jump into it. What's funny is that Aaron Rodgers, during a recent appearance on the Pat McAfee show, are they best friends or something?
The Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, on the Pat McAfee show. Are they best friends or something?
They are friends.
Okay.
You could tell by the way they speak to each other. But to have him as my quarterback and the way he goes after people,
yep,
I love it.
I bet you would. The New York Jets player said, quote, "There's a lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, who are really hoping the list doesn't come out. I'll tell you what, if that list comes out, I'll definitely be popping some sort of bottle." Now, do you think the list is going to come out, number one? And number two, if you do think it's going to come out, will it be unredacted or will there be a ton of names blacked out?
There will be a ton of names that are blacked out.
So you think it's coming out?
I do think something is coming out, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
If you haven't been following this Epstein situation for the amount of time it's been circulating, there's so many things that you have to understand, have to catch up.
The rabbit hole is
deep.
Far.
It is, but it implicates a lot of high profile people. It implicates judges, lawyers,
government,
entertainers,
multiple governments,
allies, high ranking allies, presidents, dictators, you name it. They are all a part of this Charlotte's Web. But I'll tell you this. Now, this is one angle that I don't think a lot of people kind of are thinking.
What's that? What rabbit hole do you want us to go down now?
So going back to the start, right? You have to understand the people who are involved. Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, right? Robert Maxwell being at the top of the pyramid, former Mossad agent, also former
alleged.
No, it's 100%. That's a fact. Also media mogul, okay, in charge of all the media. But he was also in charge of this prostitution ring.
Alleged.
Now, based off of the information that came up regarding his death, they said that he committed suicide, right? But before before he allegedly committed suicide, though, he was threatening to expose the Israeli government officials and also other folks within the Mossad secret agency. So what if the fact that all of this information has come out, actually a plan by Robert Maxwell, by Ghislaine Maxwell, and also by Jeffrey Epstein, because Ghislaine Maxwell said at her father's funeral to someone, based, just off of my own research of what's going on, she knows that Mossad killed her father.
Yep.
So could they intentionally be the quote unquote heroes, but not really?
Ooh.
Could they be? Could this be an actual plan by them to expose Mossad, and then they don't care what happens to them?
The heels are going to turn face.
Who knows, man?
Oh, man. That would be big.
That would be huge.
There's no way they would allow that to come out, though, if that's the case.
No.
But Ghislaine did say that she would release the list. Now, there's multiple different lists that we're talking about here. Yeah. I don't care about the flight log. That's not what I care about, because I know, I just know that multi-millionaires with their own jets, they share their jet with other people, especially people of, high worth. They share their jet. That's what I learned from Billions, the show. I don't know people that own their own jet, but that's what I learned on TV. They share their jet. So I don't care about the flight log, because that's not telling me that this person was having sexual relations with an underage girl at this location at this date. That doesn't tell me that. What does tell me that are the tapes.
You want to see that footage.
I want to see I don't want to see the footage. I want that footage. I want the list of people who went into his home on certain days when he had certain parties. I want the list of the girls. I want every single girl that was ever involved to speak out and name people. I want it all out there. So every name, the list that we really want are the names of the people who were in the court documents. All of those names who we already know, was it DOE, wasn't the 96 or whatever? We know Bill Clinton's in there. Yeah, that's a guarantee. Bill Clinton's in there.
Absolutely.
There's certain people that we know for a fact are in there. Other people are waiting for the name Donald Trump to come up. Do you think
Donald Trump has been in the forefront of the human trafficking?
He was the only one that they go after him.
He called out Jeffrey Epstein, but just to kind of switch it back around to Bill 36, their top leading Democratic advisor, John Podesta, the whole Pizzagate situation, when his phone was found, he was one of those people, one of those Epstein's connected people, and also connected to Hillary Clinton herself, to where they have, and this is from reports from federal agents, the videos that they found and the disturbing evidence that they've seen where high-profile government officials are doing the most vile things to children. Like this, when you go down that rabbit hole.
Anthony Weiner.
Right. These people that are connected, that are like, if there's smoke, there's fire within this type of situation.
I don't know anyone who has that many friends that committed suicide.
No. And when you look into that John Podesta situation where the campaign assistant was found dead because they found information or saw information that they brought to the authorities, of course you're going to be a problem.
What about the reporter that debunked the Pizzagate scandal? Wasn't he recently picked up on child molestation charges?
Yes. Well, he was a media. He was in charge of some website. Forgot his name. But yes, he was the one who supposedly debunked Pizzagate. He was friends with the owner of Comet Pizza, and just back during the whole Pizzagate situation where they had private investigators go inside of Comet Pizza and see that there was a underground chamber, that Pizzagate is on the same street as the White House.
Yeah.
And there's a tunnel that connects from Comet Pizza to the White House.
My job in the military, I was a cryptographer. So my whole job was to listen in. I wasn't listening in. I had people who were listening in to conversations. They would report to me about what they heard. My job was to write Klieg lights, KLs. So these were reports that would put together multiple different conversations, look at the words that were being used in the conversations, and to decipher what they actually meant. Are they really talking about Stanley Cup? Are they really talking about pizza? Are they talking about that? If not, what is it that they're talking about? That was my job. So to see how much information there was in emails about pizza,
hot dogs.
There's no way, no possible way they could have ever meant pizza. No possible way. So I'm just putting my own 2 cents into that. But the other side of the Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, John Maxwell,
2 minutes,
any other Maxwell,
Robert Maxwell.
The other side to that is U.S. government own who they want to target. Now, something that many people I guarantee don't know about, and this is probably going to be awesome for you to look into, the Aliquippa Water Authority in Western Pennsylvania. Have you heard of them?
No.
Weird, because they became a victim of an international cyber attack along with other U.S. water utilities. They were struck by what federal authorities say are Iranian-backed hackers targeting a piece of equipment specifically because it was Israeli-made. This is in the news. Aliquippa Water Authority. Now, we are already at war with Iran, and we are already teaming up with Israel. That started back in 2010 with Stuxnet, Stuxnet. It was a cyber weapon built jointly by the U.S. and Israel in a collaborative effort known as Operation Olympic Games that targeted the Iranian nuclear program back in 2010. Look it up. We are at war. It is a cyber war. Iran is against us and Israel, and we're teaming up with Israel to go against Iran. We're bombing the crap out of them currently.
Yep, our staunchest ally.
That's why we're allies with them.
But they have been a part of that Epstein espionage situation too.
But it can go even further if you get into the history of possible aliens. We'll be back on Monday to discuss that. Thank you for joining us, Politically Correcting Radio Show here on WYSL. We appreciate you all. Y'all have a blessed day. Happy New Year.
FM Talk. Best wishes for a joyful and safe winter driving season from Vic Chevrolet. Now, lease a 2024 Chevy Trailblazer LS front-wheel drive. Just $259 a month for 27 months. $2,500 cash or trade required. Get the cold weather safety and capability of a 2024 Chevy Silverado LT Crew Cab. Just $379 a month for 36 months. $500 cash or trade at closing. And then there's the 24 Chevy Equinox all-wheel drive LT. Just $219 a month for 27 months. $2,500 cash or trade equity at closing. Tier 1 credit approval. Lessee responsible for repairs and maintenance. Must have lease and household for all these lease deals. Whether you drive a Chevy or not. Trust or view our service department. Check out our excellent used selection. Come see how easy it is to do business